we are sustaining huge amounts of assaults on my colleagues on an hourly basis, not a daily basis anymore. And the level of violence towards my police colleagues is just unprecedented. I don't quite understand what on earth is going on, that the public seem to think that this is acceptable. It's not acceptable. My colleagues have a right to go home and feel safe each day, as you would expect, and it's just not happening.
How are the men and women who are brave enough to put themselves out there on the thin blue line, how are they thinking about tasers, Ken?
Well, a lot of them want tasers, obviously. The Met is a little bit different to the other 42 forces because we're a very condensed area. We do have nearly 6,500 tasers in the Met as I speak. So
it's a personnel of what, 20-something thousand, is it now?
Nearly 30,000.
30,000.
Yeah,
okay,
I think we just tipped back over.
Have you? Good.
But so for the Met, it's a massive thing. It's a fantastic piece of kit. Let's not kid ourselves here. It's a great deterrent towards people who want to show violence towards police, because they do change the way they feel once that red dot's on them, because they're going to get something they don't want. I get it, though, that across the country there is a real issue, because you've got officers policing geographical areas of 40, 50 miles on their own. It's really different, and they need that support of the taser.
Wouldn't some argue there, Ken, that let's just for the purpose of rural Northamptonshire, I picked that area because, as you know, it's a long time before a man or woman is going to get back up, as opposed to the middle of Croydon. So it may be that he or she actually needs a taser more than the fella in Croydon.
100%. This is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
There is a complete difference from the Met to the rest of the country in relation to how quickly someone responds to support you on an Emma call, etc., etc. We get that, and I understand that. So we've got to be a little bit understanding as to who requires what and when.
And lastly, what of men and women who've already signed up? I can't imagine that the Federation would say you have to carry what is effectively a sidearm. Where are you on that? And, of course, new recruits. What would your policy be there?
So, in relation to what we've already got, we've done a survey quite recently in the Met, and there were a large percentage, I think about 20%, who didn't want to carry a taser or a firearm.
Right.
So that's acceptable, and we understand that fully. New officers coming in, I would support them all being taser trained from the beginning and carry on from there, because I think this is a piece of equipment that you're going to gradually see more and more of, and we want our new colleagues coming in to be supported fully.
Lastly, the National Police Chiefs Council meets today, a body I'm sure you know well. Ken Marsh, what would you say to them, the Chief Constables, Commissioners and others who will be meeting?
Well, I know Martin Hewitt well, who obviously was with the Met and is now the chair of it. And I would say to them, look very carefully at what's happening across the country in relation to assaults on our colleagues, because they are overwhelmingly going through the window, and we need to support them, and we need to provide the equipment for our colleagues so they can do their jobs properly.